Today we'll look at this miniature camera from Tuya, a compact 5MP Wi-Fi IP camera, which first of all caught my attention with its appearance and format. It is really small, neat, does not look like a huge outdoor surveillance camera, and thanks to the well-thought-out mount, it can be placed on a shelf, mounted on a wall, or even hung under the ceiling. That is, for an apartment, hallway, children's room, kitchen, garage, or simply as a monitoring camera, the format is quite universal. In terms of features, it claims 5MP, two-way audio communication, motion and human detection, night vision, recording to a memory card up to 128 GB, and operation through Tuya or Smart Life. But, as usual, we will not simply believe the seller's description. In this review, I will connect it, show how it is added to the application, look at the quality of daytime and nighttime recording, check the sound, notifications, detection operation, and separately try whether it can be properly connected with Home Assistant. And overall, we will figure out what kind of camera this is. Just a nice looking toy from AliExpress or really a normal compact option for home surveillance. The camera resolution is 5 megapixels. The connection is Wi-Fi 2.4 GHz. 5 GHz is not supported. It works through the Tuya or Smart Life application. There is a built-in microphone and speaker, so two-way audio communication is supported. The camera can detect motion and, according to the seller, recognize a person in the frame. When detection is triggered, push notifications arrive in the application. There is night vision with infrared or white illumination. Recording can be done to a microSD memory card up to 128 GB. Cloud storage is also supported, but it is paid. Remote viewing works through P2P access. The camera supports Android and iOS. The dimensions are 55 by 35 mm, and the height with the mount is 103 mm. The camera comes in a small cardboard box. The box, honestly speaking, is universal and will suit almost any similar camera. The package here is from the category, bought it and you can use it right away. Inside there is a power cable. What is surprising is that on the camera side there is already not micro USB, but a Type-C connector. On the other side there is a regular USB-A. There is also a power adapter with a USB port included. At the output, it provides 5 volts with a maximum current of 2 amps. Later in the review, we will check how much the camera itself actually consumes. The mounting kit was also put in a separate small bag. There are 2 wall plugs and 2 self-tapping screws here. The manual is in English and, apparently, also universal. The picture even shows a round camera, but overall this is not critical. The main thing is to understand how to connect it and add it to the application. The camera itself is quite interesting. I thought it would be square, but it is rectangular. On the front part there is a 5 megapixel lens. Below it there is a microphone hole, and above it there are 2 illumination LEDs. It seems to me that these are not IR LEDs, but simply brightness LEDs. And the IR LEDs may be located under the black plastic cover of the camera. All edges except the bottom are smooth. On the bottom there is a slot for a microSD memory card, and the camera reset button is also located there. On the back there is a loudspeaker, a sticker with the MAC address, so that it is easier to find it on the local network if we need it, and a port for connecting power. In my opinion, they made the port on the back for nothing. You will have to buy an angled USB cable to press the camera as close to the wall as possible. I will give the link in the description under the video. It would have been better to make this port on the lower edge. Although, in principle, the mount is built in such a way that after fixing the mounting plate to the wall, the camera should still be at an angle. The hinge allows you to rotate the camera 360 degrees, or 180 degrees to place it completely parallel to the mounting surface. The platform is large, it can be fixed either with double-sided tape, or with the screws from the kit, or even simply placed on a surface the camera stands steadily. When first turned on, the camera says in English that it is ready for pairing. If this does not happen within 5-10 seconds, then hold down the reset button and wait until the camera enters connection mode. As you can see, the camera consumption is approximately about 1 amp. That is, the included 5-volt, 2 amp power adapter has a margin here. If desired, such a camera can also be connected through a power bank. For example, if you need to temporarily place it somewhere where there is no outlet, or make a small backup autonomy in case of a power outage. But for permanent operation, it is better to use a normal power adapter adapter or a power bank with pass-through charging support so that the camera does not turn off at the most inappropriate moment. We go into the Tuya application, press the plus button at the top and choose to add a device. Next, on the left, select the camera section and choose Smart Camera Wi-Fi. Here it is important to correctly specify the Wi-Fi password, and then, holding the smartphone at a distance of 10-15 centimeters, let the camera scan the QR code.
Connecting to Wi-Fi.
After that, the camera will be added to the Tuya Smart Home ecosystem.
Wi-Fi is connected.
In the main menu of the Tuya application, we see the camera card and the last still frame from the moment when we opened the application. If you need to quickly see what is happening now, simply press the play button and start the live broadcast. Below there are quick control buttons. You can immediately go to alarm messages, view notifications, and camera triggers. Next to it is cloud storage. But here there is immediately an important point: the cloud is paid. In my case, the application shows a price of $56 per year. Also, from the main screen, you can quickly take a photo or go to the camera settings. Now let's see how the camera looks already inside the Tuya application. After connection, the usual live view window opens. At the top we see the device named Security Camera. In the upper left corner there is a quality switch. You can choose SD or HD. In my case, HD mode is enabled. On the right, the current stream speed in kbs/s is displayed. That is, you can roughly understand whether video transmission is currently going or the picture has frozen. Also at the top there is a sound button. It can be turned on and off to listen to what is happening near the camera. The image itself can be viewed in vertical mode, or you can rotate the phone and switch to full screen horizontal mode. In horizontal mode, the picture looks much more convenient, especially if you need to properly see the room. Digital zoom also works. We simply spread our fingers on the screen and can zoom in on the desired part of the frame. It is clear that this is not optical zoom, but ordinary digital zoom, but for quick viewing it is fine. At the bottom are the main control buttons. The first is full screen mode. Next is the screenshot button. Press it, and the snapshot is immediately saved to the gallery. There is a microphone button. The principle here is this: press and hold to talk. That is, you can speak through the camera and the sound will come out of the built-in speaker. Next to it is the video recording button. Press it, and the application begins recording a fragment from the live broadcast. Press it again, the recording stops, and the video is saved to the gallery. If you press the arrow on the right, an additional functions menu opens. There are already more settings here. There is a playback section. Through it, you can watch recordings. At the top, you can choose cloud storage or local storage. In local storage, a timeline is displayed. You can select the desired day and scroll through the recording along the timeline. The scale of the timeline also changes: 60 minutes, 30 minutes, 15 minutes, 10 minutes, 5 minutes, or 1 minute. There is a separate gallery. Here, the photos and videos that we manually made from the application are displayed. That is, screenshots and short recordings can then be quickly found in one place. There is a theme color item. Here you can switch the interface design. Light mode and dark mode are available. There is private mode. If you enable it, the camera goes into sleep mode. A message appears on the screen that the device is sleeping, and there is a turn on camera button. That is, this is a quick way to temporarily disable viewing without removing the device from the application. Next, there is night mode. Several options are available in it: smart mode, infrared mode, and color lighting mode. That is, you can choose how the camera will behave at night, work through IR illumination, turn on regular lighting, or switch automatically. There is motion detection. This is a basic function so that the camera reacts to movement in the frame. There is sound detection. That is, the camera can react not only to movement, but also to loud sounds near it. There is also a siren. A large activation button appears in the menu. When pressed, you can activate an audio signal from the camera. There is light control. You can manually turn the illumination on and off, and also go into the schedule. In the schedule, you can select the time, days of the week, add a label, enable notification, and specify the action for light switch open or close, that is, turn on or turn off. And there is also an edit item. Through it, you can configure the placement of the buttons in the menu. Moreover, the application offers to add quick shortcuts from other Tuya home devices. For example, switches, sensors, thermostats, and other devices that are already in the smart home. That is, in terms of the application, the functionality is quite standard for a Tuya camera, but everything basic is there: live viewing, HD/SD quality, sound, talking through the microphone, screenshots, video recording, local playback, night mode, motion detection, sound detection, siren, illumination, schedule, and quick control buttons. Now let's separately go through the bottom menu of the application, because there are also several useful tabs here. The first tab is Messages. Here, all alarm events from the camera are collected. For example, in my case, sound detected is displayed, the camera detected sound. Events also arrive separately for human body detected detection of a person in the frame. The next tab is Object. For the camera itself, this section is not the most important one. Here you can add favorite objects or quick elements, but in normal camera use, what is most often needed is live viewing, messages, and functions. Next comes the Cloud tab. Here the application immediately offers to connect cloud storage. It is not activated for me. That is, without a subscription the camera works, but cloud recordings and some cloud functions will be unavailable. If you do not want to pay for the cloud, then it is more logical to use a memory card. There is a Smart tab. These are already Tuya automations. Here you can create scenarios so that the camera or other devices perform actions automatically. For example, you can create a scheduled scenario. The last tab is More, that is, the store of additional services. Here Smart Cloud Storage and Cloud Storage Service are offered. Both items are not activated for me. Smart Cloud Storage promises smart analysis and labels: person, animal, car, package, fire, and so on. Cloud Storage Service is ordinary cloud storage for recordings. Overall, the bottom menu shows that the camera in Tuya works not only as an ordinary camera for live viewing. There is an event log, notifications by sound and person, cloud, automations, illumination control, scenarios, and additional paid services. But for basic use, in my opinion, the camera itself, a memory card, notifications, and local viewing are enough. And cloud and smart analysis are already optional if someone really needs to store recordings remotely. Now we go to the main camera settings. You can get here through the three dots in the upper right corner. Here, a separate page of the security camera device opens. At the top there are quick items: third-party control, device information, tap to run, scenarios, device network check, and the ability to share the camera with another user. Next come the main settings. The first item is private mode. When it is activated, the camera disables the audio and video connection to protect confidential information. That is, this is a quick way to temporarily put the camera to sleep, so that it does not show or transmit anything. In the video settings, you can flip the screen if the camera is installed upside down or if the picture is displayed not as needed. There is also a night mode setting. Three options are available: automatic mode, infrared mode, and light mode. That is, the camera can switch itself according to lighting, work through IR illumination, or turn on regular illumination. The timestamp is also enabled here so that the date and time are displayed on the video. In the sound settings, the siren is placed separately. You can adjust its volume from 0 to 100%. For example, I have it set to 30%. The next large section is detection alarm settings. Here, motion alarm is enabled. If the camera sees movement in front of itself, it sends a notification. There is also human detection. This item allows sending notifications only when a person is detected, excluding other movements. That is, for example, if the light changes in the frame, a curtain moves, or some small object runs by, the camera should not distract you so often. There is an activity zone. You can enable monitoring only for a certain area of the frame. After that, an image opens with a red frame and it can be stretched or moved. This is convenient if you need to monitor only a door, passage, or a specific part of the room and not take everything unnecessary into account. Below is the alarm sensitivity level. There is low, medium, and high sensitivity. In normal conditions, I would start with medium and then already look at the number of false triggers. There is a smart frame. If you enable it, the camera will mark detected objects with frames directly on the screen. You can separately enable the function itself and the frame display. There is also siren triggering on alarm. That is, you can make it so that in case of suspicious activity, the camera not only sends a notification but also turns on an audio signal. Sound detection is configured separately. The camera can react not only to movement but also to unusual sounds. Inside, the function itself is enabled and the sensitivity is selected low or high. There is an alarm schedule. If the timer is not set, the camera works without a schedule. You can add a schedule, select the time, days of the week, and specify which events will be active: motion detection, human detection, or sound detection. That is, alarms can be enabled not constantly but only during the necessary hours. Next comes storage settings. Here you can see how much space is used and how much is free on the memory card. In my case, approximately 0.3% is used and 99.7% is available. There is also a card formatting button here. There are separate recording settings. Here, the recording switch is enabled and the recording mode is also selected. Two options are available: event recording or continuous recording. Right now I have the continuous mode selected. That is, the camera records constantly while there is a memory card and recording is enabled. You can also configure the recording schedule. Here the time and days of the week are selected. You can enable notification and the recording switch itself. That is, if desired, recording can be done not around the clock but only at a certain time. Cloud storage is placed as a separate item. When you go there, the application immediately offers a subscription. For example, the basic AI plan with 30 days of recording for one camera costs $55.99 per year. There are also other plans. That is, the cloud is here, but it is paid. Therefore, for ordinary use, a memory card looks like a more practical option. There are device network settings. Here you can see which Wi-Fi network the camera is connected to and the signal level. In my case, the network is called Businka, and the signal level shows 100%. You can also add an alternative network so that the camera can switch if the main network becomes unavailable. There is an offline notification. If you enable it, the application will send a notification when the camera has been offline for a long time. At the same time, the application warns that in order not to flood you with constant reminders, the notification will be sent if the device has been offline for more than 30 minutes. In the general settings there is a support center, adding a shortcut to the home screen, device update, IPC client for PC, uploading the device log, and restarting the camera. In the updates section, you can see that there are no available updates. The current firmware version is version 1.0.0, 1.5.605. You can also enable auto update, but personally I usually enable such things carefully because a camera is a constant surveillance device and you do not always want it to update itself at the wrong moment. At the very bottom there is a button for removing the device from the application. Now let's see what this camera can do in Tuya Smart Home Automations. We go into Scenarios, select our security camera, and here the device can act as an if condition. That is, not just watch video, but launch some actions on certain events. There are quite a lot of items here. There is smart event detection, but in my case it asks to go to a cloud service, so part of the smart analytics is tied specifically to the cloud. Next, there is private mode. Enabling or disabling private mode can be used as a condition for a scenario. There is OSD watermark. This is a watermark with date and time on the picture, and its state can also be tracked, enabled or disabled. There is also a separate item for recording mode. You can select in which mode the camera works, event recording or continuous recording. That is, in automations, you can even rely on the recording mode. The most interesting item is event detected. Here you can already choose triggering by motion or by person. That is, the camera can act as a trigger if motion is detected, or if the camera detects a person, then we launch the needed scenario. There is also light switch illumination control, enabled or disabled. There is motion area switch. This is the activity zone, meaning you can use the state of the monitoring zone. There is humanoid filtering, a human filter, so that the camera reacts less to all kinds of nonsense and more specifically to people. The siren is placed separately. There is siren switch, whether the siren is enabled or disabled. There is siren volume, the siren volume, and it can be used as a parameter: less than, greater than, equal to, within a range, or outside a range, in percent. The same is also available for chime volume, the volume of the sound signal. There is also object outline. This is the display of a frame around the detected object. It can also be used in automation as enabled or disabled. And the last important item is motion detection. In essence, this is one of the most useful options because it is from it that a scenario is most often built. The camera saw movement, and then we already turn on the light, send a notification, start the siren, or make any other automation. From normal scenarios, I would do this. For example, if the camera detects a person at night, then turn on the outdoor light and send a notification to the phone. The second option is tougher. If a person is detected in the specified activity zone, turn on the siren and start recording. And for home, you can do the opposite and make it softer. If private mode is enabled, then disable recording and notifications so that the camera does not bother you once again when you are at home. Now let's see what the camera can do, not as an if condition, but as a then action. That is, when some other sensor or scenario triggers, we can make the camera do something automatically. In the list of actions, there is private mode. You can enable or disable private mode. For example, you come home, the camera goes into private mode. You leave home, it turns back on. There is recording mode. You can switch the recording mode, event-only recording or continuous recording. This is convenient if you do not want to record video constantly, but at the right moment you can automatically enable continuous recording. There is motion alert, enabling or disabling motion notifications. That is, you can make it so that notifications work at night but do not annoy you during the day. There is light switch, enabling or disabling the illumination. There is also a separate record switch, enabling or disabling the recording itself. For sound, there is chime volume in %. That is, you can set the volume of the sound signal. Separately, there is siren switch to turn the siren on or off. And siren volume, the siren volume in %. There is device restart, restarting the device. Honestly, a strange but useful thing. For example, you can set an automatic restart of the camera once a day, or if it starts working incorrect. There is also motion area switch, enabling or disabling the motion detection zone. There is humanoid filtering, the human filter, so that the camera reacts specifically to people and not to every shadow or movement of light. And there is also object outlined, enabling or disabling the frame around the detected object. This is when the camera visually highlights the found object in the picture. As a result, in then mode, the camera can do quite a lot. Enable privacy, change the recording mode, manage notifications, illumination, siren, volume, motion zone, human filter, object frames, and even reboot itself. From normal automation, I would make something like this. For example, if the door opening sensor triggers at night, then the camera exits private mode, turns on recording, enables the human filter, enables motion notifications, turns on the illumination, and, if necessary, starts the siren at 50% volume. It turns out to be not just a camera, but a full-fledged part of a security system. Now let's check the camera's capabilities in the Home Assistant Smart Home ecosystem. Since this is a Wi-Fi device, we need the Tuya or local Tuya integration. We go into it and update the integration. Next, we look for our security camera device. Here it is, we go inside. In Home Assistant, the camera is detected not just as one picture, but immediately pulls in several entities. There is device information, you can download diagnostics, add the necessary elements to the dashboard. In the control block, floodlight and security camera switches appeared. Below there is a camera state sensor. Right now it shows that the camera is in recording mode. There is also a doorbell message event, although in my case it is displayed as unknown. The main camera parameters were pulled into the Home Assistant settings. You can enable and disable image flipping, motion alarm, select the motion detection sensitivity. I have it set to medium. There is a separate motion recording switch, private mode, selection of recording mode, for example continuous recording. There is also sound detection, sound sensitivity, video timestamp, and enabling the video recording itself. On the right, in the history, you can see that Home Assistant records changes in the camera state. For example, enabling recording, enabling motion alarm, enabling the time watermark, disabling private mode, and other actions. That is, this is not just a decorative card, but part of the parameters are really visible in the smart home system. Most importantly, the video stream also opens. We click on the camera and see the image directly in Home Assistant. The picture is displayed normally. You can put it in full screen, download a snapshot, and also open the camera in a separate window. Overall, for a Tuya camera this is an excellent result. Basic control, statuses, part of the settings, and video viewing in Home Assistant are available. Let's conduct shooting tests. The seller does not specify the viewing angle exactly, it simply claims a wide angle. But I do not agree with that. In fact, from my installation, the picture is like this. The camera hangs at a height of 240 centimeters from the floor and captures an area of approximately 310 by 300 centimeters. That is, about 9 square meters of area gets into the frame. According to the calculation, this is approximately 64-66 degrees on the sides, and the diagonal angle turns out to be about 84 degrees. Of course, this is not a laboratory measurement, but my real test indoors. But for understanding, this is not a panoramic camera for the whole room, but for a small space, for example a hallway, entrance area, or a small yard. The angle is quite enough here. It is better, for example, for viewing a door or entrance. Let's figure out the illumination LEDs. And they are double here. By default, in calm shooting mode, they illuminate the space through IR lighting. But if human movement gets into the frame, then by default a rather bright LED illumination also turns on, which not only helps clearly capture who is in the camera, but overall can even light the way at night to the refrigerator. This is the so-called smart mode. We can leave only IR illumination or constantly enabled bright white LEDs. Separately, I downloaded several recordings from the camera and checked them through Media Info. After exporting from the application, the files are already saved as ordinary MP4 videos. At the same time, the video itself really has a resolution of 1920 by 1080, that is, formally this is full HD. But from the characteristics it is visible that the quality here is not maximum. AVC stream, 16 by 9 aspect ratio, frame rate around 12.5 fps, and bit rate approximately 1.17 megabits per second. Therefore, the picture turns out usable, but without a large reserve of detail. For home surveillance, checking a room, hallway, entrance area, or simply monitoring the situation, it is quite suitable. But you should not expect from such a camera the quality of an expensive IP camera with a high bit rate and smooth 25-30 frames per second.
Sinking in, I know this feels right. Catching a breeze, love moving through me like a wildfire, like a wildfire. Hey, I'm never the same.
As a result, the camera turned out to be quite usable and, for an inexpensive home option, leaves a normal impression. It connects to Tuya, shows video in the application, can record to a memory card, saves clips in full HD, has night mode, motion detection, human detection, sound, siren, private mode, and even basic integration into Home Assistant through Tuya. But it is important to understand that this is not a premium IP camera. The video quality is average, the resolution of 1920 by 1080 is there, but the bitrate and smoothness are not the highest, so you should not expect super detail. Faces, small text, or fast movements may not be transmitted perfectly by the camera. The main disadvantage for me is the small viewing angle. The camera is installed at a height of approximately 240 centimeters, and in reality it captures an area of about 310 by 300 centimeters. That is, for a large room or a wide hallway it may not be enough. It is better to immediately understand where you are placing it. For monitoring a specific zone, entrance, workplace, children's room, storage room, or a small room, it is fine. For a panoramic view of an entire room, it is better to look at models with a wider angle. If you need a simple Wi-Fi camera for home, with recording, notifications, Tuya, and basic smart functions, this option can definitely be considered. Just do not expect premium picture quality and a wide viewing angle from it. This is rather an honest budget camera for everyday monitoring, and in this role it looks quite good. You will find all product links in the description under the video. There is also a link to the Telegram group where you will find not only smart home system new products but also coupons, deals, general communication, and answers to questions. There are also links to the smart home forum where all topics are divided into sections for more convenient communication and information search. There are also links to social networks Facebook and X. Please do not forget to leave a like if you liked the video and subscribe to the channel so you do not miss other interesting videos about smart and not so smart home systems. All the best to everyone. Peaceful skies and goodness. Bye bye.